Hello, my beautiful witches. Blessed be. This is WhiteRaven over here. Today's Monday, so happy Magic Monday to all of you guys. How are you, witches? How was your weekend? I hope the beginning of this week, we are almost at the end of the month of February. For me and for many of you guys, winter is officially over and we're super excited that spring is coming up. I don't know about you, but I'm going to be making some serious magical garden this year. I have a lot of seeds that some of you guys have sent me and I'm so looking forward to start my magical garden this year. Super excited. The weather is changing. Finally, the sun is setting later. I mean, more birdies around. It's just happiness all around us. On that note, I want to say thank you very much for all your support. And I want to share with you guys some gifts that my two beautiful friends, Jessica and Miranda, sent me this week. And I'm super excited to share this with you. I want to say thank you so much, Jessica. Thank you so much, Miranda, for all the love that you share with me and for all the years that I have had you in my life. You guys truly are very special to me. So the first thing that I want to show is this beautiful broom that my friend Miranda sent me. This is for opening roads and opening all my doors. I'm really excited about this. I love it so much, specifically because I know this came with a lot of love. Another thing that my friend Miranda sent me is this piece of coal. I've been so waiting for this. She told me she had this for me and I've been so excited to get it and I finally got it. She sent me this beautiful little wood sign that I'm definitely gonna hang in my room like today, like right away. She also sent me a piece of volcanic rock. I'm really excited to have this as well. Now, my beautiful friend Jessica, she knows me so well. She made this with resin. Look at this beautiful Ouija board. I am so excited to have this. This is gonna go straight into my Ouija board wall. She also sent me a beautiful planchette. She made all this with resin. She sent me also tarot cards made out of resin. I'm going to retouch this ones and I'm going to paint them and I'll show you guys maybe later on. She sent me something that I have been wanting all my life. She sent me a hagstone, guys. I am so excited to have a hagstone. You have no idea. She found this in a river close where she lives. Very excited about this. She also sent me some other goodies that I am super excited to have. This is all made with resin. She sent me this little bottle with goodies. And she also sent me all of her resin stuff, because she said she does not want to do resin anymore. She wants me to try something. So maybe we'll be trying some resin pretty soon. Thank you so very much again to my beautiful friends for all the things that you share with me. I want to take this time in this video to say how honored I am to have you guys as my friends. You guys are so important to me. So today I have a spell for you that is not very pretty. It's not pretty. It does not have good intentions. Had really wicked intentions behind it, but you know what, sometimes it's very necessary. There's a lot of people out there that are abusive. I have been receiving all this week emails from you guys about evil neighbors, about evil co-workers. Pretty much receive those emails every week, so I'm going to share with you something that I find extremely wicked. We are going to be using, my beautiful witches, the infamous fork. We're going to use a 3-pronged fork to do this spell. We are going to do a binding, but we're going to bind a person into a lot of nightmares. That's what we're going to do. There's people out there that are extremely evil to us. People out there that treat us really bad. There's people that you give chances, that you beg, that you talk to them in a nice way, and you tell them please. But they're wicked. They're wicked to the core, and they love to do evil deeds. No more witches. We're going to be using forks today as a way for you to bind an evil person. Stick around, it's coming up right now. Some months ago, I was reading a fiction book, because I do like to read fiction as well, called The Hour of the Witch by Chris Bohalian, and I hope I'm not butchering his name. And this book is based on 1662 Boston and all the things that you can't imagine could be possibly happening at that time, particularly with all the witch craze and all the Satan craze and devil worshipping craze. It happens that the main character of the book, they are calling her a witch, and it's because they found a fork in her garden. So back in that time, believe it or not, using a fork was deemed as a tool of the devil. Back in that time, using a fork was deemed as something related to devil worshipping. In that particular book, the girl was condemned as being a witch. And so based on that book, I went in one of those rabbit holes of mine, and I had to dig and dig and dig about forks and magic. And boy, oh boy, did I find a lot of stuff that you can do with forks. Well, it happens that forks, particularly the ones with 3 prongs, switches, okay? These ones are known now as fruit forks or as dessert or cake forks. I found these ones in Amazon. Sometimes they come with your silverware sets. But it happens that the fork is linked to good and bad, believe it or not. Obviously, we're going to use it today for a bad spell. We're going to do a hex because we're going to punish somebody. The fork obviously is related to the pitchfork of Satan, of the devil. It is also linked to farmers. I'm pretty sure you've seen a lot of horror movies in which farmers stab people to death with their pitchforks. I mean, when we also see old movies and you see farmers coming to kill Frankensteins with their pitchfork. You know what I'm saying? So the pitchfork was not only a tool for farmers to gather hay, for example. It was also a tool of war for them to defend themselves. And yeah, it happens that people used to kill other people with pitchforks. This trident is also linked to the god Neptune, which he used to use, among other things, to create some earthquakes. It is also linked, believe it or not, to the 3 heads of Hecate, and also to Cerberus, the 3-headed dog that guards the underworld. With history, the trident ended up being the tool of Satan, of the tool of the devil. And it is says that the devil gathers all the sinners with his trident, the same way the farmers were gather all the hay. Based on that depiction, witches, we use this fork, this 3-pronged fork, as a tool to entangle and to trap things that we don't want in here. So today, witches, I'm going to share with you a really wicked spell for you to trap in here somebody in an eternal nightmare. These are the things that we're going to be using for this spell today. Obviously, we're going to use our handy dandy 3-pronged fork. We're going to use a black candle for this spell as well. You need a pencil. You need some type of brown paper for this. We're going to need some black cord, something for you to carve your candle. You're going to need a lighter. And then for this particular spell, we're going to be using 2 types of herbs, and these are creepers. We're going to use ivy, and we also are going to use blackberry. I have been working on this oil for a couple of weeks now. It's an attachment oil, and I'm going to have it in my website. It just needs a couple more weeks to cure, but I'm going to be sharing it with you pretty soon in the website. This is going to be an attachment oil, and this oil is going to be precisely to make sure that the magic that you are making gets attached to the individual. This is going to be great to work with voodoo dolls, with paper magic, or if you want to create any type of attachments, this is going to be the oil that you're going to be using. So for this is all I'm going to use. My attachment oil. You're going to use creeper plants. In my case, I'm going to be using ivy and blackberry. And you're going to need wicked intentions. that bad neighbor that you have begged 100,000 times not to park his car in front of your driveway, but he keep doing it. Co-worker that you have that keeps talking bad about you and talking bad about everybody. That evil person that has disrespected you. Somebody that you want away from you. Somebody that has inflicted pain upon you. This is the spell that you're going to do for that, witches. The first thing that we're going to do, witches, we are going to tear some paper. Not too big, because we are going to fold this paper and put it between the prongs of the fork. Okay? In a complete circle, witches, we are going to write what we want to do to this person. In this particular case, we are binding this person. So do a circle without breaking it, and we're going to write, I am binding you. Make sure that you go all the way around writing, I am binding you. I am binding you. I am binding you. Now we're going to write the name and the last name of the person. If you don't have the last name, then just the name. And you're going to write it 2 times in a cross. Obviously, we're not writing any names over here because I'm not doing this for anybody. But it's going to look something like this. Okay, witches, now that you have the name of the person in that paper, we are going to fold it away from you. Great. You're going to grab your black cord, witches, and we're going to do a little knot. Once you do that little knot, you are going to bind this person. And while you do that, witches, you need to think about what you're doing, okay? You are binding all the evil in this human, and you are going to trap all his evil deeds in this little paper right here. And then after that, witches, we're going to trap it in the devil's fork, so he can have nightmares and he can rot in his all evil deeds. Before we put this in our fork, make sure that you put some of this oil right on top of this. Evil deeds, I'm stopping you right now. You're stopping right now, and you are going to simmer in your own filth, in your own evil doings. What you're going to do now, you're going to put this in between your fork. Just like this. Just like this. And we are going to bind it in the fork. This person is going to be completely entangled in his own filth. Let him suffer. Wrap him around in the fork, and Satan's fork, in evil's fork, in the devil's fork, and forget about him. Now I'm going to tell you something. One of the things that people always ask, it's like, oh, the person is being better. WhiteRaven, can I destroy this magic? Listen, don't play. You know, I get so frustrated sometimes when some of you guys tell me that all these people is doing all this evil stuff to you, and then the first thing that you guys said is like, oh, I don't want to do him any harm, but I just want him to stop. It's like, stop doing that, witches. If the person is being evil to you, why are you feeling so guilty about doing stuff to him? This person gets what the person deserves. Stop being so repentant about the magical work that you're doing. This is a bad person. He needs to stop. She needs to stop. Period. Be done with this. We're going to put our fork in here. I'm going to light up my little igniter. Now that we have the igniter here, grab your pointy stuff, and from the top to the bottom, you're going to write the name of the person. I want you to put 3X. Crossing this person, binding this person. Okay? Grab your oil. Anoint your candle, witches. Make sure you anoint this candle with your attachment oil. You're attaching this magic, and you are attaching that person into that fork. He's not going to be able to ever move out of that fork. Ever, ever, ever. Which is, you have to be very attentive when you are burning candles, okay? Don't think that you can just light a candle and just let it be. The next thing that we're going to do, witches, we're going to put our herbs all the way around. All right? Doesn't have to be much. Put your herbs all the way around. That's the ivy. Now we're going to put the blackberry. This is thorny, so be careful with it. Okay, witches, let's light up our candle. We're going to perform this hex, witches, in the dark of the moon. When there is no moon in the sky, when everything you see is darkness. If you were walking in the woods, you will not even be able to see your hands in front of your face. Because we're going to invoke the power of all the evil deeds that this person has done to you. And you are going to anchor that evil in this fork, which is right here. And as this candle burns, you are going to send your petition into the dark energies of the night, into the dark energies that are lurking just to come to this fork and get tangled up with this evildoer. And this evildoer is going to rot in his own filth. And he's going to be stuck and tangled up, unable to move out of his own wickedness. And this spell is going to be done, so might it be. Which is very important that you let that black candle consume all the way. So please make sure that when you buy your black candle, you take in consideration the time that the candle is going to take to be consumed all the way. Once your hex is done, once you finish with the ritual, make sure that you grab everything, and it needs to be buried far away from you. As a matter of fact, to a place that you're never going to come back. To a place that you're not even going to remember where it is. And understand, witches, that once you send magic out there, the magic is sent. There's many witches that say the magic is done, you can't release it and whatnot. I tend to believe that when you send some energy out there, it's kind of hard to reel it back in. It's done, it's sent, it's moving, just took off. So please make sure that if you are going to do this type of hexes, number one, these are not nice hexes. And number two, don't be repentive of your actions. If this is an evildoer, he gets what's coming. If you think you're going to repent, then you know what, witch? Magic is not for you. Or at least not this type of magic. Please make sure that you see this through. And you finish the spell. Do not leave the spell halfway done. No, no, no. And make sure when you finish, you bury it far away from you. Witches, you can use forks for many awesome things. They are very good as traps for evil energies. So you can put some forks by your windows, especially if you think that you have bad neighbors and they are sending you bad energy. They are good for protection. Maybe some other time we will be talking about the good stuff that you can do with forks, but for now, I much rather do curses with this. take advantage of the things that you have at home, and take advantage of your feeling, which is do not anybody abuse you. And that's it, witches. Thank you so very much for your support and for being here every Monday with me. Please make sure to visit my social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. I was working with Pinterest today. I'm going to organize it so you can have interesting things to check in there. Plus, if you go to my Pinterest here, you're gonna get to know a little side of me that maybe you do not know. Also remember that I have a beautiful website, WhiteRaven and witcheslair.com, in which I'm going to be having this attachment on in a couple more weeks. There are 2 oils that are coming up this week. That's going to be repulsion oil, and that's going to be bend over oil. That's going to be this week on the website, so please stay tuned. It is always awesome talking to you, witches. You must be very smart. Knowledge is power. But you have to stay very wicked. Don't let people abuse you, witch. You have what it takes to protect yourself, defend yourself, and stop harassment. See you next Monday.